I'm Amy, thank you for tuning in. It's time to do another haul. This is quite a few things that I've collected over the past few weeks. There's the usual books, of course, but quite a few interesting creepy artifacts and a couple of creepy items of clothing too that I'm really excited about. So let's get into it. I'll show you what I've got. I've also got a giveaway at the end of the video, so stay tuned and you'll get a little bit more information about that. So first up, I went to Disneyland quite recently and saw a girl wearing these earrings, decided that I had to have them. So I tracked them down on Etsy. They arrived without a box, so I'm hoping that I can link in the description to tell you where I got them from if you're interested. I love the shine on them. I love the fact that they are glittery. I just think that they're really cool. Next, I have ordered a couple of clothing items from a website I've not used before called Disturbia, and they are such good quality. It's really hard to show a dress on a video like this, but it's sort of velvety with all these beautiful patterns on. Kind of has a nice shape at the bottom. I'm really excited. I already have an occasion in mind for this one. And next up we have a lovely skater style dress, sort of high neck, a little bit flared out at the bottom. Again, the details in it are beautiful. The fabric is really nice on both dresses. I'm very impressed. Next we have a few spooky objects that I've acquired, and this one's quite heavy, so I'm going to move carefully. This one is a gargoyle from the Haunted Mansion. I got it at Disneyland Paris. It is a replica of one that's actually in there. It lights up. I think if I can turn it on, I'm not sure whether it'll show very well on the video, but I absolutely love this. I just need to find a place for it because it's very tall. Next, I'm so pleased that once again TK Maxx have been super organised with the spooky season merchandise. My local one is absolutely incredible. I may be biased, but it seems to have a really good selection compared to some of the ones I've seen online. So there's probably a few more things that I will go back for. I may regret it if they've already gone, but I opted for this skeleton candle holder. You can see the space for 2 candles. I thought that was really cool. Again, quite tall. I keep buying things that aren't going to fit on my bookshelves. And next, I've been looking for one of these since last year. I think that somebody had one. It might have been Jodie from Vanilla Moon. It's really, really nice how it looks. I think it looks like bats instead of snow. It's musical too. To give you a little hint.
2 hours later.
Next to the books and book related items. So this I also picked up in TK Maxx. I love it when they have moleskins in because the paper is beautiful. They're just a little bit cheaper in there. This is a hardcover one, slightly bigger than A5, and I like this size when I'm plotting out stories because I can use one side of the page and kind of go a bit further than if it was a bit smaller. Next up, I picked up a copy of Yellowface, the book that everybody seems to be talking about. I managed to get one of the gorgeous stenciled edge editions. Haven't had a chance to read this one yet, but I'm going to put it on my TBR for next month, I think, because I've heard amazing things. I've heard it's very scathing about the publishing industry, so of course I need to know. So I'm going to pop this one to one side to remind me that I need to read that soon. I also got the new Sarah Anderson book, Cryptid Club. I think it's new to me anyway. I really, really liked her book Fangs, which was about a romantic relationship between a werewolf and a vampire, and they're very cute, short comic book style ones. This one is in colour, just show you some little bits. And this one says on the back, do you hate social gatherings, dodge cameras, enjoy staying up just a little too late at night? You might have more in common with your local cryptid than you think. And it goes on to explain the Cryptid Club. It sounds really fun. Also putting that on the please read me soon pile. Then I got a couple of items sent by publishers. They're in a bit of a jumble, so I'll tell you as I go along where they're from. This one, I went to the Scholastic Beyond the Book event. I was so excited to talk about the A Taste of Darkness anthology to some influencers. The UK Way horror anthology that I've curated that is coming soon. This one, Boy Like Me, is Simon James Green's latest book. I thought I had a copy of this one, but when I kind of went back and looked at my pictures of my shelves, I didn't, so I grabbed a copy of this there. It is set in 1994, and it says, in the library someone is committing a crime. There's a novel hidden there about 2 boys falling in love. In this time and place, a book like that is illegal. When Jamie Hampton reads the novel, he recognises his own suppressed feelings. Then he sees messages scrawled in the margin. Someone is reaching out. Who wrote the messages, and should Jamie write back? That sounds so good. I love things written in historical time periods. It sounds like this is tapping into something that's really important and still relevant now. So again, going on the please read me soon pile. Next, I've been trying to collect all of the Ultimate Storyteller Stephen King's. So this is the next batch. This one is Needful Things, which I haven't read, I don't think, since I was a teenager. So I definitely want to read this one soon. It seems to come up on people's lists of favourite ones. I think that this is from the Epic Thriller set. They've been releasing them in sort of relevant batches. So that one can go on the shelf with the others. Next, Insomnia. I feel like I did read this one back in the day, and it's about a man who starts waking up earlier and earlier after the death of his wife, and then noticing strange things going on in the town of Derry, Maine. I feel like I've heard the name of that before, in It maybe. So I'm probably going to try and reread this one in the near future. Cell, I definitely haven't read, and I think when I posted about this, a couple of people said it's amazing, so I need to get on this. I don't know what it's about. I'm not going to read it though, because it's quite rare to go into a Stephen King book not knowing. Under the Dome, I did read this when the TV show came out and I enjoyed it, but I did that thing where I was watching the TV show and so I enjoyed that a little bit more. Sometimes it goes that way, doesn't it? Because this was quite different, so I might try reading this again now with the distance from the TV show to see if I can get a little bit more from it. And then good old favourite, I've been waiting for this one to come out and the edition did not disappoint. I love that cover. I love the fact that you see the little eyes there.
Hi, Georgie. Aren't you going to say hello?
This is my favourite Stephen King book, some problematic content notwithstanding, so definitely check this one out, check the content warnings. But it's one of those that I read back in the day. It's one of my first ever horror books that I read, so I will continue to keep rereading this because I do really love it. So next up we have a book that Delacourt Press sent me. Thank you very much for this. Look for a start how beautiful the cover is of Starlings. It sounds absolutely amazing. I'll just read you a little tease from the back. It says, "I cannot believe after all this time you're finally coming to Rosemont," the letter said. "I'll be counting down the days. I've been waiting for you forever." It sounds deliciously sinister. I remember reading the blurb of this and thinking it sounded great. So onto the read soon pile you go. I feel like my TBR pile for next month is taking care of itself. Next up, one of my favourite books that I've read recently, Burn the Negative. I was lucky enough to read the proof of it. I gave it a blurb so the publisher, to say thank you, sent me a copy. It's published by Putnam Press. This one has a real Candyman feel.
Who is that?
Helen, I came for you.
It's about a woman who, when she was a child star on a film that ended up people believing it to be cursed. She's now a journalist and she's been sent on an assignment to look into the remake of the TV show, a TV show remake of the film she was in, and things are not going well. It is written in mixed media. I'll see if I can show you a little bit of it though without spoiling too much. It's got little things like that and it looks so great designed up, so I'm really excited to read this again at some point in the not so distant future so I can see all the elements of the finished copy. I pre-ordered Silver Nitrate. It was one of those gifts to myself where I forgot about it, and has some similar themes actually in common with Burn the Negative. It's by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I'm going to read a little bit of the blurb too, it's quite long, but it says, "Montserrat has always been overlooked. She's a talented sound editor, but she's left out of the boys' club running the film industry in 90s Mexico City. And she's all but invisible to her best friend Tristan, a charmingly faded soap opera star, even though she's been in love with him since childhood. Then Tristan discovers his new neighbour is the cult horror director Abel Arueta, and the legendary auteur claims he has a way to change their lives, even if his tales of a Nazi occultist imbuing magic into highly volatile silver nitrate stock sound like sheer fantasy. Years ago he began work on the film A Lifetime, but the magic film was never finished, which is why Urueta swears his career vanished overnight. He is cursed. Now the director wants Montserrat and Tristan to help him shoot the missing scenes and lift the curse, but as the three work together, Montserrat begins to notice a dark presence following her. The closer they come to unravelling the mystery of the film and the obscure occultist who once roamed Mexico City, the closer Montserrat and Tristan come to learning that sorcerers and magic are not only the stuff of movies. How cool does that sound? I don't remember much about that apart from thinking that it had some commonalities with being about movies, like Burn the Negative, so super excited about that. This one, I'm just going to check which publisher sent me this, because I don't recognise the symbol. Joy Revolution. I think Penguin also sent me this, like the Delacourt one. So I'm assuming this is one of their companies. This is A House Party. It's a novel edited by Justin A. Reynolds, and it's got different contributors to it, which I thought sounded really interesting. So 1 Epic Night, 10 Unlikely Teens, 0 Reasons to Stay Home, Welcome to House Party. The pile at this point of books that I want to read soon is getting a little bit big, so I'm going to put this here, but remember that I do really want to read this. I did get sent this, I think since I did last haul video. It came from the Woods from the Shiver Point series. It is the first book that comes out on the 14th of September, same day as the Taste of Darkness anthology. I have to admit I read this as soon as it arrived and it was absolutely brilliant. Think Goosebumps for a new generation.
You will beware, you're in for a scare.
It is great for adults because it references horror that adults enjoy, and it just has that real fun, like, point horror feel that I think adults will get a kick out of as well. Next, another pre-order, this one, Looking Glass Sound. I still haven't read a Catcher in a Ward book. I still continue to buy them. They all sound so good, so let me know in the comments if you think that there's a particular one I should read. I think I have all, if not most of them, but this one sounds really interesting. It says, writers are monsters, we eat everything we see. Enough said. I really need to read it. I feel like at some point I'm going to start a book avalanche. This one was also sent by a publisher. This one was from Rock the Boat. Thank you for that. It is Amy Kaufman's new book. I really enjoyed her series that she wrote with Jay Kristoff, the Illuminati Files. I do need to read more of her books, so hopefully this will be a good place to start. Next, I've become absolutely obsessed with Books to Door. They keep having really interesting box sets. I ordered the True Blood set from them, and this Haunted Mansion set came up on my social media. So I decided I would get these and hopefully at some point pick one of them up. I love the covers. I love everything about Haunted Mansions. I'm hoping they're just as fun as the ride and all the merchandise that I collect. Next up, another book that I picked up as Scholastic. This was a blind date with the book, so it said something about a small town murder mystery on the front. Went for it, and I was really glad it was one that I'd not had before. Murder of Crows by Kay Ancrum. It says, when Tig Torres first moved back to her hometown of Hollow Falls, she solved the infamous Lit Killer case and cleared her late Aunt Beth's name in the process. So on, it's quite a long blurb, but it sounds really interesting. It says, this original lethal lit story features a brand new mystery not on the hit scripted podcast. I did not realise that this was linked to a podcast. That sounds really cool. Yeah, the pile's getting too big of books I want to read soon, so I'll pop that there. And I saw this Nancy Drew book. I was a huge fan of Nancy Drew back in the day. Look at the colour of her hair compared to mine. I think that she just, the way she's described in the book really sounded like me, and I got a real kick out of that when I was a teenager, maybe even around 10, a little bit younger than that. So I'm going to reread these and see whether they hold up. It's volume 1, so I don't know whether this is the first books or whether they're ones that have been collected, but I'm excited to give those a go. This is like confession time. I pre-ordered this book, forgot I pre-ordered it, and ended up with 2 copies. So there will be a giveaway of this at some point. It is in the running for YA Book Club, so if it wins I'll give it away as part of that. I admit I am going to keep the Spreaders edition for myself. Look at that. I do have this extra edition that will be part of a giveaway. So you can spot the pattern here. The giveaway book is a book that I ended up with 2 copies of. I don't know where I've put the other one, but the publisher sent me a copy of this and I'd already pre-ordered it myself. So this is the Spreaders edition of Scattered Showers by Rainbow Rowell. I've since read my copy wherever it is. It is a collection of short stories, a couple of which I'd read before that had been released in different places. A lot of them are original, all absolutely brilliant, including a Bass and Simon one. It's worth trying to win it just for that. Who are the main characters of the Carry On books, if you are not aware. So that's it, huge haul. I'm really excited about lots of the books, as you can tell by the pile I created of books that I want to read soon. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if there are any books that you think I should prioritise. Let me know if there are books that you think I would like based on the things I've hauled lately. Thank you so much for watching. As always, likes and subscribes are really appreciated, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!